What's up, suckers? Had an issue, ran into an issue. I figured out, amazingly, that I can hyperlapse my own video using my cell phone. Genius. Issue is that I figured this out with another video that I was like, that's what I'm gonna do when I go to fix my backyard. I'm going to hyperlapse the video. Turns out that the hyperlapse will speed you up so fast that the video I recorded just the other day was 2 hours long. And it was compressed, hyperlapsed into 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Cool, sweet, great. You lose the detail that I put into said video. Not realizing that it was going to be quite as fast as it was. As I was recording it, I was paying attention to the clock. I wanted at least minimum 5 minutes. That way I can have a full 10-minute video. Because I realized a lot of people who watch my videos are goldfish. And on average, they generally get to the 3-minute mark-ish. And then they're immediately done with my video. Which is, I understand. We've all got lives. We've got stuff to do. But I guess I'm not funny enough that people want to stick around and watch the whole video. So I guess I'm lucky that the video is going to be 4 minutes and 30 seconds long. I feel unlucky, though, because it makes it look like I just sped run through everything and just fixed my back porch magically as the sun was setting. So now I'm actually going to break down my second video, which is a full hour long. So that means I put 3 hours into work for my back porch. But lucky for us, I will break up said hour-long video into easy partitions to watch. That way, on average, if people only watch the intro to my video and they don't care about the rest of it, you didn't miss much. Because I'm basically breaking down all the stuff that I did for the back porch. In this video, which won't be very long, I promise, I am pouring out all the water.
I finished all my yogurt.
Thank you. Cool. Little one. So I poured out all the water that was accumulated in the plants. So that'll be a single video. Another video I'm going to break down is, and I'm going to put a tiny bit of informational over it just because the video was intended to be hyperlapsed and it wasn't, so I don't speak at all. So I'll either just put little reads over it, talking about the soil, talking about why I have a bucket of soil and the issues that I ran into with that, transplanting a lot of succulents going from small pots to big pots, or vice versa, if I realize that there's so much cell death that the succulent that's usually a good size is now like meat. And then I only lost total 6 succulents, so I mean, high five to me, because considering the wind and the rainstorm that I got, that was already a nightmare in and of itself. So that's gonna be what I do for the next, I guess, month. Welcome to January 2022. Things aren't always going to work out to your favor. I mean, I have videos now. I have videos to edit. I have videos to play with. I have informational key things that I can share with you guys. And considering all the work that I put into my succulents, I'm quite proud of myself that I was able to get it done over the course of actually 2 days. 3 hours is still a long time over 2 days. Hyperlapsed, only 4 minutes and 30 seconds, which is this point right now, if you pay attention to the time clock in your video, because people only watch to, on average, 3 minutes. Thanks, guys! But, considering that I still have subscribers even now, I ran into an issue in life and things got in my way and I just kind of gave up for a while and I stopped touching my succulents because I thought, well, who cares? You're watching me water succulents and move stuff around. But then after this windstorm, realizing that most of my succulents actually ended up in my backyard rather than in the pot that they originated, I decided that I was going to jumpstart back into this, kickstart back into my group. Shout out to my mom who encouraged me and sent me a little tidbit over Halloween last year. I mean, I know it's a little ways away, but she actually ran into somebody, one of my subscribers actually, that carved a pumpkin and had a cactus in it. And I wish I had the cactus photo. I'll probably put it here. And honestly, that kind of kept me going with what I need to do. If you can't tell, I'm definitely lacking sleep. I have yellow eyes. I have a lot of health issues that are currently in my way too. Anxiety out the wazoo. If you can't tell, my lips are dry as crap. I was sick for a week. Thanks, Humboldt Crud. I appreciate it. It's either a sinus infection or something completely different. Still have my nose, still had my taste buds. I just got tested today, so I mean, less than likely I had COVID considering, but I'd rather be able to go back to work and explain, hey, it was actually a sinus infection rather than what we all think it is. So scary anyways, and when you have two little ones, you're stuck at home, got nothing to do, nowhere to go, can't see your doctor normally, so, step by step by step. Anyways, so yeah, that's basically what we're gonna do here. Sun is slowly setting. I appreciate you guys sticking around. I appreciate my subscribers. I appreciate the people that watch my videos all the way to the end. And yeah, we're gonna have a good time with a whole hour video that I need to cut and edit. Because even my computer, just loading the video in and of itself to my computer as an hour long is already giving me an error message going, hey, you're taking up a little too much space. You know what I'm saying? And my computer's not that old. So if you can imagine a whole hour on my computer having issues, my phone was also giving me problems. So yeah, I'll definitely have some fun with that. Anyways, thanks for tagging along, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace out, suckers. Alrighty, so in this segment, I am literally just moving stuff around. Figured out that the majority of the pots that are on this metal shelf that I started tending to are just like drowning in water. And the issue that I have with my succulents drowning in water is that I have to, cat bag, I have to rejuvenate, and I said this a lot in this video. It's kind of annoying how many times I said it, so that's why I had to record this and completely turn down my audio. Oh yes, I got a new skeleton. He'll be featured in another video, but right now he's just gonna hold my bucket for me. So the thing with having to pull plants out of their pots is that you want the soil to be mostly dry, and as you can see, there's enough water in there to water down 3 other succulents besides this little tiny pot. So the issue being with how much water I have is that if I continue to let those succulents even dissolve or, dehydrate in the sun, they won't make it. Their roots will get rotted, they'll get super mushy at the base, and then when I go to allow them to sit in sun, they could potentially get mold or sunspots, and these are all things that you don't actually want your succulents to have. You can deal with the sunspots on some succulents. You can't really allow a succulent will not survive with as much water as these guys had in their pots, just simply because it would create algae in said pots. This one specifically doesn't have drainage. I had the miniature rocks on the bottom, And with how much water got dumped this particular winter, it didn't turn out well for him. In the next video, I do transplant him, so he is doing very well now. He actually kind of exploded in the last week. It's quite funny. But yeah, so these guys definitely, the whole video for this, even though the title's going to be water everywhere, every time I'm talking to my succulents and I go to replant them or move them around, all I say is rejuvenation. And that's pretty much the whole video. Whole hour long of me saying rejuvenation. It's fantastic. I ended up using the water actually as a wash pot for my hands, because even though I preach religiously, wear gloves, people, wear gloves, because of this windstorm, all of my gloves were moldy. And it was very disappointing. That one was dry. Even though the topsoil looked super wet, it was dry, fully dry. And, side note, root bound. So when I transplanted that, I was able to actually break it up, and it's thriving currently. Yep, even just a little like a little tiny teapot that I had in a plant was full of water. These guys up top, because they had plastic over them, were absolutely fine, but the wind came in sideways and the rain was carried with it, and so the trio underneath, absolutely just floating. I had to hold the one closest to my body because the soil was so, like, he was so root bound when I first transplanted him, that I wanted to make sure he wasn't going to fall out and completely get transferred into the water. This one wasn't too bad, but I had to be gentle because lots of dead material had fallen in from the pot above. And when wind blows in, it blows in trash. You can also see a lot of the trash on the rocks right in front of us. Sorry about the grainy video. Using a brand new phone, I didn't realize that I was going to be so completely far away from it, so. And also it's vertical rather than horizontal, so and right now I kind of purposefully did it that way because my backyard was full of trash. I didn't want that to be the focus of the video. It's just, oh cool, she's got trash. So, yep, this is the other trio that of the relatives, not like perfect clones. One of them did have some wishy branches. I was pulling those out. Majority of them had fallen into the water, so. And they're safely in a, oh yeah, the bumblebee looks straight up into the sun. Genius. This one was a slow leak, very slow. Like I could feel the water sloshing around underneath the rocks, but it was a very slow leak. And then because of how much water I had on my back porch, I actually ended up encountering so many mosquitoes. That's also why I kept the jacket on. Like at this point, I was sweaty. I was moving around so much. I was getting rid of so much trash. I'm wiping my forehead. I'm sweaty, but there's mosquitoes everywhere. And I didn't want them on my back. And this is a heavy coat. And I only rolled up my sleeves. You know, if you're going to go with the logic of, okay, well, if you say you don't want mosquitoes, why are your sleeves rolled up? Well, I'm touching water constantly. I'm just pouring water out. And I'm getting a little backsplash, and I didn't want to get, like, absolutely soaking wet sleeves and then have to try to transplant soil with that. Currently I'm bent over looking at a pot. It's full of water, absolutely full of water, but this is the one that I waited on for after this video to dump out. So I'm going to pick the one in front of it. This is my jade plant. He's currently absolutely happy. Right after this, after I moved everything and rearranged everything on my porch, he's currently sitting in the sun and he is glorious. And it doesn't take jades long to explode. I even said this in another video. It does not take them long at all. So, yep, this is part of the jade, though. Because of the wind, some of the leaves were knocked off. I'm going to try to start propagations with those. They weren't mushy at all. They were just in a disopportune. And this is what I mean when I say absolutely flooded. So much water. And that's why the caption of this video is water everywhere. And it was heavy. It was extremely heavy. And my pants are wet and my boot was wet and it was dripping down my sock. And there was so much water that it just drained. It emptied in both of these, and even the this cup that I had drained out just moments prior to starting the video had to start again because there was so much water. And a lot of these little plants, like that leaf right there and the one that's right next to Grandpa, I pulled those out and those are actually brand new.